Good afternoon, traders, and welcome to another edition of Awesomecallstrading.com. I want to welcome you to this great chat room, and I'm going to do a quick 15-minute, 20-minute recap webinar for everyone. We had we had a really good day. It wasn't a great day because there were a few stocks that kind of got off my radar a little bit, and I kind of have to own it. I got to own it. You can't always be. I always say I wish I was perfect every day. That's just not. As much as I try hard, I study, I work hard, and during the day, I make some of the most incredible calls and trades. And in a pre-market, I mean, you'll see 85% of my stuff was accurate today because I'm really involved in each idea, each thought, what stock's going to do, and I really, really enjoy it a lot. But today, there was a stock that kind of got me. It got me, and I don't usually get got. You know what I mean? I don't. And I read the report, and I'll kind of read a little bit. The stock was called Lazy Boy. Now, Lazy Boy was down quite a bit. Okay, it was down quite a bit. It was hanging about 2-3 points to the downside. The reason for that is their earnings came out yesterday, and in their earnings report, and I'm going to read verbatim. Listen to what I'm going to read. The company says in its press release, our Q1 was off to a slow start across the home furnishings industry. And with the hangover of the tariffs and geopolitical uncertainty, we feel we are very unclear if these business conditions will continue further in first year 20. We are unclear if weak business conditions will continue. Therefore, we're in line in our guidance, all right, but we're uncertain of the future. Okay. You know what that is? I see that shit all the time. So I'm gonna, even though I'm gapping down 3 or 4 points, I want to pop the stock at the open. I want to gap fill it as close as I can to 29.79, and then I want to do an all day bleeder. Traders, Kern is now 34 a share. It is running. Kern, Kern. It took off the 28 spot, and now it's $34 a share. There's no end in sight right now. So if you're going to play it, small size now. If you're going to chase it. So I made the decision. Ultimately, the stock was a long in pre-market. It was going to fly at the open because it needed a short cover. All right. But I want you to see what happens when it didn't. You see this? The call in the morning was long the open. All right. I never said one time to short the open. Never did it come out of my mouth. All right. I wanted to long the open to 29, and then I wanted to short it for and fade it. Look what happened. This is the difference, what happens when a conference call gets online. You see that? So a lot of us aren't privy to the transcripts or what's being said at that fast rate. When I look at the report from yesterday, I was very clear that this stock should pop and sell off. Now, I was right on the pop. I would have been a hero right here when it popped to 29.50 because that's what it did. So if you went long 2,000, 1,400 shares, you made quick $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, 400, 800, 900 because it was going to gap fill from yesterday's close, which is about right here. However, whatever was said in the conference call ignited the stock, and it's never been a short all day. It really hasn't. So typically, I like to take credit because I got the pop, but ultimately it was a bad call because the short didn't break. Now, I did try to guide traders all day not to short the stock because it didn't show the momentum. But a lot of traders tend to use my notes as guides, which I really like to preach. But in this case, Lazy Boy did not want to break. And there's no short at all in this trade. None. Whatever was said after the report ignited the stock. And sometimes, as day traders, we're not privy to every little thing that's being said. So this one did not do as well as I wanted. However, I want to make it very clear, as I said in the notes, and I want you to read how I wrote them down. All right, this will pop at the open to 28.50 to 29, and then we'll fade it. But it never gave us the opportunity to fade the stock. Instead, it just kept going. And it turned out to be, it actually turned out, if you stayed long, obviously, it was a great call. But this is one of those calls when I'm judged in the room, how accurate were you are today, because it didn't break on that 29 and didn't smash back to low of the day. Therefore, this call goes in that small percentage that it didn't do what I wanted. Even though I was right that I told everyone to long the open. If I would have put on here short the open, then I would probably grade myself 40% for being stupid. Okay, but I already know that shorts are going to cover. But based on the report I read, the outlook was very, very miserable. And I wanted to start this webinar with the idea that I work really hard to be right. And when I'm wrong, I study so I don't be wrong again. And I've traded Lazy Boy for 10 years, so I know how the stock trades. But this one, on the short side, did not allow us all day to short the stock, which was a real shame. So, because it would have been a nice fader. Now, let's reverse that and talk about a stock that just fucking blew everyone's mind. This stock here, the way we traded this is next level shit. I mean, it's beyond any chat room you can ever experience. It's constant guiding, talking, educating, teaching, live, executing trades in and out. Now, you might look at this huge move and think, God, why did you only make 600 and how much did I make? $618 today. Don't laugh at me because I really don't give a shit. I made $618 today on MLNT, right? When I trade it, now understand, when I traded it each time, I was actually down hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars. But I knew what the stock was doing, so I would add into positions, and then I would have a nice average. And so when it popped, I would take my money and run. And I traded it 5 times in the room. What made this one so amazing was the way it was read. And I'm going to kind of teach you. It's called MLNT. Now, we have this stock pretty much going to $7.92 before the bell within the next hour. We've had that looking, we have it also going probably 850. It's either 792 or 850. We have been long this stock since this morning. I mean, we have to give props where they're due, because Janny Moore, who runs the morning shift in the morning pre-market, took this stock live in the chat room at $2.75 and walked it all the way up into the opening bell. Okay, I took over the chart when it opened, and what I was looking for. Now, one thing I'm going to teach you. Okay, this is something I'm teaching you. When you have a stock like MLNT, although I was calling the pinpoints where it's going to go and why it's going to go, you have to take into consideration one thing that a lot of you don't know: pre-market. When you have pre-market volume in the millions, all right, 90% of those times those stocks are going to run. So make a note of that. You're going to get a pullback of some sort, but they're going to pop at the open and then they're going to pull back. They're not a short. You cannot short a stock like that. And in something like this, I never once said short the stock unless it snapped 4. I want you to look how I wrote it. Once I saw this volume this morning, I knew I would get a buyer. Once I get the buyer, the stock is gone. I need the buyer, and I'm going to point the buyer out. And I've been watching on Twitter a lot of people out there trying to take credit for our shit that we do in here, and it is fucking annoying. But I want you to see, and you know what I loved? I was busy trading Netflix, Nvidia, Adobe. You know what I loved? I loved that somebody called it out to me in the room and said, "Buyer in, AJ, buyer in." I think it was Raphael and another trader. I think it was Raphael and Steve B. I think it was. So they all said buyer in, and I'm going to show you. Okay, so first we knew it was going to be a long at the open, so I wrote it up like this. Okay, here we go. This is gapping up 2. I want to push at the open towards the 5 spot if I can get it. In order for you to short this stock and fade it for the day, it must break 4. If it doesn't break 4, all right, we go back to pre-market highs. I will watch the buyer to come in on the bottom curl. You see how I write that? I've already determined before the market even opens, there's going to be a buyer in here. And what is a buyer? A buyer is about 400,000 or 500,000 shares, 800,000 shares, a million shares, and he buys. And he is not going to buy the stock for a 50-cent move. I can't teach that enough in this room. Okay? Now, all these other chat rooms that do small cap, they don't get this. They're busy trying to short the backside of it. They're busy trying to show you charts, the voodoo fucking plunge, the line, the death zone line. They're selling you all this bullshit. But when you trade with a professional seasoned trader for 16 years, he ain't looking at any of that bullshit. He's watching the buyer. And when that buyer comes in, that buyer tells a story. You want to see the buyer? Let's play it out now. You ready? Here we go. Okay, so you're going to go to the stock. Pre-market, we already knew it was good, right? Jenny already walked it from 275 right here and walked it up to 4. Props to him. Now, AJ comes in and says what? AJ says, okay, I like the stock to pop at the open. Ding, 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 towards 5. So here's the open. Boom, hit 475. Now, don't short with size unless it snaps that 4 and holds. It's got to snap that forward. Within 2 to 3 minutes, the stock had pulled. It started to get into this area where it was starting to snap. However, before we could even begin trying to short to the downside, I want you to look right here at 640, 641. All right. The buyer started to sneak in. You see the buyer? You see him? The buyer's right there. There he is. You see how he bought right there? He ignited the whole trade. He had about 3 million shares to do. You see him? 500,000 shares, 450. Then he bought again, 391. Then he blew the fuck up and bought 800. And then he said night night, and he bought the big chunk, 2 million. When you have that buyer with that kind of play, he is not buying the stock for 50 cents. Right here, I said this is going to 7. 6 to 7, it's already done. This already told me at $4, plan on going to 6. It's done. That's no bullshit. Now, how do you trade it if you're in the chat room? Okay. Well, we're long the stock, we're buying with size, and we're playing it. Now, what happens is, now the story starts to unfold. We pop it, we get a parabolic move, right? And then the markets start coming. Traders, current is going crazy. It's gone. It's heading to 40. I mean, that thing is just, I gave you 2 at 28 before I started the thing. Look at that. It's gone. It's 9 points. Now, the spreads are going to be awful on it, traders. Okay? See the spreads? They're a buck piece. So you have to sell on the way up in small size. All right? And if the volume kicks in, the spreads will tighten up. See that 50 cents there? Once it starts to run again, they widen up. Okay? There's the $1 spread again. It looks like it's going to launch. You see those 38s lined up in 39s? So you got to just wait for it to see if it's going to push that area. It's thin, and that's why it's running. They don't have a lot of stock available, each of the market makers, and that's why it keeps running. Right? But there are buyers in there buying it up, traders. Looks to me like they're going to try to buy it out or something. It's hard to say. Anyway, play with caution. Okay, so anyway, so MLNT did a parabolic move off this buyer. See this big buyer? He threw in a market order of 2 million shares. So it was on its way up, but it pulled big. I want you to see where it settled. You see how the market makers stopped it? That told me right there over the next 20 minutes as I watched the stock live in the room. See the time frame? They're building a base. This is your new base for the stock. You see the base? Okay. This is when we went in long again in the room. I went in, I believe I went in at 493 right here while it was building the base. Yeah. I went in, yeah, I went in at 493. I'll show you exactly where I went in right here. See that 493? This is me. I'm buying here. And I tell the room, okay, I'm buying, all right, and my stops are at $4.30. So I tell the traders exactly, my stops are at $4.30. I'm longing at 493, decent size, and I'm waiting. I feel the stock is going to go to $6 to $7 a share. So I'm going to be patient. Okay. Now, during this time, we had a few spikes. And in those spikes, traders made good money. I wasn't privy to sell this. Okay. How the whole maker mirrors hold a base, they just stop it right there. That's it. They indicate that's the bottom of the stock. Just like if a stock is on Boeing going to pull to 350, that's it. Right? And fresh buyers come in. It's like any stock. Like Kern going to 38. If they stop it there, then it'll just sell off. All right, you can't have too much of an evaluation on certain things, Nick Kempka. So it's just things you get adjusted to. But once they get like you see how right here, you see how I got rejected. See how it was a fine designated line right there. There's no way it was going to break 420. It was done. They already told you. It rejected it 5, 6, 7 times. It's not going to fall. So that tells a trader instantly, a pro. Okay, that's it's not going to break there. I'm going to look at an upside move now. And see how it just held? All right, so now what I want to do is now I want to long the stock. I want to long the stock. So I want to go in here and buy the stock and wait. Now, many traders were popping and making bank, and I hadn't sold yet because I kept helping traders to stay in the trade. As an owner of a room, this isn't about me. You need to all understand this. This is about teaching the trader not to get shaken out, how to read a stock, don't fucking short it. That's no short in there. Okay? I would have been stupid. Yeah, size in short, and I'm not going to sit there and guide traders to 6-cent trades, 8-cent trades. Yeah, you could make 18 cents, be a scalper, you could be a piker. It's not how, no, we don't do that in here. Jesus Christ, we're looking for the big move because we know it's coming. Okay? So we set it up, right? And then voila, boom. I saw this developing right here off that 5 spot, off the 515, and guess where we sold? That's right. Boom, on that spike right there. You should have heard me screaming, heard me lying. Okay, Kern is almost 40 a share. I told you buy 100 shares at 30, you'd be up 900. All right? It should head up to 40. There's something going on in the stock traders. Kern is almost 40 now. All right? And I sell into that pop. There it is. Almost 40. And I told you it was lined up. Look at your level 2. There's 40. Traders, please make money, not excuses. Okay? I told you it was going to 40. I saw the 39 lined up already down here when it was 37. Now it's 40. Right? Wait for the bid and ask to tighten up. You're going to pop again. They're going to stop it. There's 43 now. 43 lining up. 42's lining up. 40s, 50s now on the sales. 43's all lined up. Look at that. 41.86, 42, 43, 43, all 43s. One more pop and it'll go to 43. Here we go. Ready? There's 41.27. 43s are coming. One more pop, one more buyer, decent buyer come in, and it goes to 43. 41s now. See how it tightened up? Now we're 41.74. There's a 74 right there. 44s are starting to line up. I still think 43 is more realistic. Okay? Here's 41s. You could sell at 41 now. See how they tightened up? Because there's a volume coming underneath it. All this from what, $32 a share? While I'm doing a webinar? Let me know when it's 43. Okay, let's go back. I'm sorry, traders. Just trying to, the room is just the way we are. It's the way we roll. Got to make traders money. Okay. So now, so now we got the move. Now, it was a great move. I played it. I went on break. See, this is my break right here. I'm on break now. I got out of it. I didn't trade it anymore. I came back into chat. Okay. Let me know when Kurt hits 43 because I want some love on Twitter, traders. Come on. I earned it. I given you 9 points just talking about it. All right. Okay. So now I come back in the room. I see the stock basing again. All right. This told me right here at 10 o'clock. I came back in the room, I think right here. Yeah. This area was really cool. I came in the room and I saw it pop up here. I walked in the room and I said, okay, this got room through 7. All right. All right. Kurt just hit 43.25. Okay, I'm done with it. Done. You see how the level 2 told you where it was going? Now it's slowing down. See it slowing down now? Now here comes the pull. It'll probably pull to 40 or 39. See that? It's slowing down now. I told you where it was going to go 8 points before it got there. And now I'm telling you it's slowing down. It should pull to 38, 39 now. There's 38. So you see how it pulled? Bam. 4-point pull right in your face. Level 2 traders. Level 2 tells you everything if you know how to read it. Tells you where it's going to go before it gets there. Tells you the momentum. It tells you where it's going to stop and slow down and come down. And I called the 43.25 when it was sitting at 38. Okay. MLNT. Okay, so right here, I decided that the stock was going to head toward high of the day. So I went ahead and scalp. I wanted to do a scalp trade. Now I'm going to do a scalp trade. So I saw this parabolic move up here and here, and I said to myself, okay, I'm going to long the stock right here at $6. I believe it was $6.73. I believe I took an entry. I didn't want to take it right there because I wanted to fill this gap. So I told the traders that were following my lead, wait for the pullback. You'll get a better entry than me, right? Because I wanted to fill this gap or this gap. Typically, these type of market makers will want to fill a large gap, okay? Even though they're going to move upwards, and you can tell they've already shown them their cards. You see how it pulled, filled that gap. You see how it popped and pulled again, filled that gap. You have to anticipate that move. So when you got a parabolic move running like this, chances are you're going to fill that gap. And I knew that. So I wasn't going to allow me to get shaken out. And then I told the traders, as soon as it pulls, a buyer will come in and we'll take out the high of the day right here and take it to high of the day. So long the stock. So what did I do? I added to my position around 624, which gave me about a 657 average. All I needed was a quick pop up for 20, 30 cents into the money, and I took my money and ran. And that's it. And the stock ended up taking out high of the day. This is what we do. This is what makes our room so special. It's that constant working with the trader for them to understand how it works. How does small cap work? How does it develop? What is the trade going to do? This is really important when you're playing small cap stocks, traders. It's really, really, really important. The knowledge you learn in here, learning this stuff, understanding it, and volume is the key. Volume is the key. You have to understand volume. If you have volume behind the stock. Now, what's going to happen with this stock? To me, ideally, this is a 2-day run. I'm going to show you the completeness of where it should go. Because of the news and the way it's impacted the stock should run probably on a second day runner up to 890, 987, and top off between either 10 or 11. So that's what I'm going to be looking at for the next 1 or 2 days. They will do an offering. Chances are they did over 100, 110 million so far on this stock. They can go in and probably get a $5 offering with warrants with about $25 million worth of stock, and it won't even affect it. But why are they going to do that? They're not going to do it probably tonight. They're going to probably do it tomorrow. They're going to let it run another day. Okay, and traders get excited when they don't do an offering, but you have to play cautious up here. We've already taken the stock from $2, $3 up to 7, so we've already gained 120% on this stock for the day. So you have to be cautious up here. When you play at these levels, whatever you play, you have to say to yourself, I'm willing to lose, because the stock could at any time do a massive, just crazy. I mean, I've seen it before. Well, they'll just go in there with a crazy offering and a crazy warrants and just smash the stock $3. And you don't want to be caught in that. You want to just play it nicely, play what you're capable of willing to risk. And people were asking me, should I overnight? If I was to overnight, I'd do a quarter position, would not do half, and still be wary of the offering. But I do think the way this is trending, it'll be a 2-day play with an ATM to follow. And I'm thinking an ATM would be about 20 to 25 million, right around a $5 average. And that's what I'm thinking. And then the play is pretty much over. Okay, so we'll see if we hit our targets and so forth. Anyway, I wanted to share with you that stock, and I think the webinar is like 25 minutes. That's enough. I'm glad you got to watch how we trade Kern and watch the level 2. And Kern is now holding up there around the 41 area. And that's it. So I'll do the rest of the charts tonight. Thank you for joining us today at this great webinar. And if you want to join us tomorrow, just click right here. Boom, 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 boom. You're all set. You come in the chat room. And I was 85% accurate today. MLLT, Kern obviously just went crazy. I liked ACTA to fade. I think ACTA AXCA will come down to 27 and under. ENR was a great trade. Rio was pretty decent today. Nevada. Beyond was wonderful. I actually called a short on Beyond down to 170 and under and hit 162. I was really proud of that call for 10 points. Adobe was beautiful. I called it 285 on Adobe. You have to see this stock. Gosh, Liana, one of my favorite traders in the room, just absolutely nailed this stock. On Adobe, I read the report like I always do. I said the stock was going to short from 290 to 285, long it back to 292. And the stock has hit, and it's hit 291. And you don't believe me? Look how I wrote it up. It was absolutely stunning on a $203 stock. Look at this. Short at 290, add to 292, take it down to 285, bottom curl it, go back to 292. This shit was unreal. I fucking loved it. And my trade I started this morning was shorting Netflix. And I took it at 362, added on the pop out of the gate, and I said it would come down to 358 for quick money. I had, I think, 250 shares on this sucker, and I loved it. It was my first trade out of the gate. I nailed it. I was so happy. Made 500 bucks, and look where it went. Just absolutely stunning. Beautiful read on the stock, and it hit 356. Obviously, I left probably like 400 or 500 on the table, but I don't give a shit. God, you know how happy I am when I make my trade first thing in the morning, click and it's green. God, and I give the entry, give the exits. So wonderful. I love what I do, and I could see this shit happening all day. You're gapping up. I mean, look at this. Look at the gap up. I mean, hello. Of course, we're gonna sell that off. Anyway, Kern's gonna make another run. You see it? That's a flag breakout. So pull up your level 2. You see the 45s? See them right there? They're already starting to line up. Look at that. Oh my God. Look at that. Look at that. We should pop through 43 again. And then just watch this right here. Watch the 44, 45s line up. Once you start to see them all green lit, it should make that final pop. This is crazy stock right now. It's amazing. And they're tightening up. Actually, no, they're still wide by a point. Just watch your levels right here. Watch those 44s line up, and that's when you'll get that pop. Anyway, I can see the breakout right here. See that flag breakout? That's a flag breakout right there. You want to go long those stocks right here in our room. Just go across. There's your long, 28, 29, and then slam it. And you only need 50 shares, 100 shares. You make 7, 8 points. It's not much. Anyway, it was a really good trade. All right. Thank you. I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.